Okay, before I get into this breakdown of this street corner interview I did with Alex Jones, because I promised you guys I would get this out to you, I want to ask you to do something real quick. If you don't know about Mike Morales' channel for Above Ground World News, check it out because this guy does a fantastic job breaking down the weather and goes over news from a weather perspective that you are absolutely not going to see on mainstream media. Last week, his wife got into a horrific accident. This is her car right here. This is like a Toyota Camry or something like that. She got sideswiped, obviously, is still in the hospital. And I want you guys to know up front, Mike has not asked me to do this, and he does not know I'm doing this. But I know he's hit hard times. His wife has a long road of recovery ahead of her. And what I'm going to do is, underneath this video, I'm going to put this PayPal link so that if you want to, you can contribute to, their hospital bills are going to be off the charts. So if you want to contribute to that cause, I'm going to leave that link. And I'm telling you, Mike and his wife are great people. They really put it on the line with their YouTube channel. And if you don't know about his channel, go over there and subscribe. And I'm just going to leave that right there. But, we all have an hour of need. And when somebody can come along and help out, it really, really makes things a little bit easier. Now, let me go over this Alex Jones thing. First, I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of segments here. And then I want to address what Alex Jones told me. Alex, Brian from High Impact Vlogs.
God bless you.
Hey, I got a serious question for you. You're against red flag laws, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain why Trump is for putting a federal red flag law into existence?
He said he was, and he backed off of it.
Wait, do you know when he did? He backed off of it?
Oh, yeah, he said we're not going to do it anymore. I remember what happened.
First of all, I don't recall that, and I've been digging for it. I don't see any documentation. There's no video evidence. So we're just supposed to take Alex Jones' word for it that Trump backed off of red flag laws. I don't see any indication of that anywhere on the internet. If you guys have seen it, if you guys see something from whitehouse.gov, or you saw something that Trump or Pence said, or something that was issued from the White House, let me know, because I haven't seen it. And what about the anti-First Amendment?
Still very troubling. Trump's doing a lot of stuff I don't like. Very troubling.
Do you call it out?
Yep.
Now, Alex Jones is admitting that the very fact that Trump uttered the words extreme risk protection order or red flag law is still, quote, very troubling. Now, this is the same language that we heard Delegate Nick Freitas said when he said it's problematic. Well, somehow it's not troubling and problematic when a Ralph Northam or any Democrat talks about foisting red flag laws on the American people. They use words like, this is tyrannical. This is anti-Second Amendment. This is something we cannot support or stand behind, and we cannot support or stand behind the person who supports this. But all of a sudden, when Trump says it's troubling and problematic. Let's listen to Trump's own words about what he thinks about red flag laws and taking the guns first, due process second, and universal background checks, and not giving people a firearm or not allowing them to have a firearm until they're 21.
Take the guns first, go through due process second. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case.
That is a personal preference from Trump. I like take the guns first, due process second. That means he hates the Second Amendment. How can you support somebody who hates the Second Amendment? Well, if you're for the Second Amendment, the answer is you can't, and you wouldn't, and you won't.
We're getting rid of the bump stocks.
If that was all that was wrong with the Trump presidency was that he banned bump stocks, that action alone is a tyrannical action coming from a tyrant. Period.
Sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process.
And who's going to make that judgment? Who's going to make the judgment that you are unfit to carry or possess a firearm?
That is why I have called for red flag laws also known as extreme risk protection orders.
Now, Trump's saying he called for them. These are his words, not mine. Trump's saying I called for extreme risk protection orders. In other words, I called for something that is antithetical and completely in diametric opposition to the Second Amendment.
I will tell you, background checks. I've called many senators last night, many congressmen, and Jeff and Pam and everybody in this room. I can tell you, Curtis, they're into doing background checks that they wouldn't be thinking about maybe 2 weeks ago. We're going to do strong background checks. We're going to work on getting the age up to 21 instead of 18.
That is being a tyrant. And you cannot, in good conscience, if you're a freedom lover and a freedom fighter, back a tyrant. Now back to Alex Jones.
What about the anti-free speech thing that he did for the campuses under the auspices of anti-Semitism?
Well, he also said you can't block people's speech. He's saying if they organize and try to keep Jews from having their events or whatever, then they would do something. That's how they presented it to him.
That's nonsense. That's utter gibberish and nonsense. It makes no sense. Trump's executive order dealing with anti-Semitism is 100% against the First Amendment, period. But Alex Jones still supports him.
I think it's also troubling the language of it
Now listen to this.
to be interpreted wrong. And he just says they can put atrazine basically in the water, which literally makes the frogs gay and also fucks people up. Excuse my French. So,
No, it's
all the problems with Trump.
So Alex Jones volunteers information that I didn't ask, and he admits that Trump supports putting atrazine into the water supply. What's atrazine? Atrazine is an herbicide. It's poison. So he's saying Trump is endorsing or supporting putting atrazine into the water supply, which makes frogs gay, he says, and F's people up, but he's still going to support Trump. Check this out.
don't censor yourself on my channel, man.
You'll have to turn
I
right.
was just ranting about Trump a minute ago.
Oh, were you? I missed
Man, I've been
it.
persecuted so much for supporting Trump.
South
I
Shore,
support him
right?
because the deep state hates him.
So Alex Jones says that he supports Trump because the deep state hates him. Trump, who wants to poison the water supply with atrazine. Trump, who endorses red flag laws and taking guns away from 18, 19, and 20-year-olds to keep themselves from defending themselves. Who's for bump stock bans. Who likes take the guns first, due process second. And Alex Jones is saying he still supports Trump because supposedly the deep state hates him. Guess what? The deep state doesn't want you to have a gun. The deep state wants red flag laws. The deep state wouldn't mind putting atrazine into the water to make the frogs gay and F people up. The deep state wants to enact those extreme risk protection orders that take away your Second Amendment right to protect yourself. And the deep state, of course, would be for bump stock bans. But he says the deep state hates Trump, and that's why he supports him. It's illogical, and it's inconsistent with backing freedom and the Second Amendment and the Fourth Amendment and the Fifth Amendment and the First Amendment and the 10th Amendment.
The problem is he's got such
yeah,
big
we're still
bureaucracies around him
on.
that just trick him. They give him files and tell him something's this, it's that.
And now it's not even Trump's fault. It's because his advisors are tricking him. But guess what? His cabinet is made up of advisors that Trump himself appointed. This is all hypocrisy. This is all smokescreen. It's all dog and pony. And he is being 100% disingenuous. He's being completely dishonest, or he is a paid shill. Because I don't think Alex Jones is stupid. And I don't think he's unaware of what's actually going on. He supports Trump in spite of poisoning the water supply, in spite of taking guns away from 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, in spite of bump stock bans, in spite of red flag laws. Let me ask you something, Alex Jones. What would Trump have to do to make you rethink or withdraw your support? How bad would it have to get for you not to support a banker puppet, Donald Trump?
Why would he put Steve Mnuchin as the Treasury Secretary? He's a Goldman Sachs lifer.
Okay. So how do we get...
Did you see what just happened? Did you see what just happened when asked about a Goldman Sachs Zionist inside banker? He's an insider. Steve Mnuchin is completely intertwined with Federal Reserve Zionist international banking. And Trump appointed him as the Treasury Secretary. Watch his face when the question is asked.
Why would he put Steve Mnuchin as the Treasury Secretary? He's a Goldman Sachs lifer.
Okay. So how do we
Ignore, evade, and ignore. That's Alex Jones, guys. That's Alex Jones. He will still support a Trump who wants atrazine in the water, according to Alex Jones, which makes frogs gay and F's people up. He will still support somebody who poisons the water supply, who lays down red flag laws, who institutes bump stock bans, who disarms 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, who's for universal background checks, and the list goes on and on. We're not even talking about civil asset forfeiture, increasing the coffers of the military-industrial complex, continuing the drug war. The list, guys, goes on and on. I haven't even scratched the surface in this video, but I wanted to show you this video. I want to kind of keep it short. Please remember to visit Mike Morales' channel. And if you can, offer him some support for this hard time that they're going through with this horrible car accident that his wife got into. I appreciate you guys joining me. If you guys enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.